Well, that's another day done. Just some thoughts about all the stuff been reading in the news. Thinking about Trump cancelling funding for who? Crazy, huh? Thinking about the millionaire in Westminster, what's his name? Can't remember. Gone. Giving a present to the NHS of 13 million, which is probably about the rent he gets a week. Just watching two deers here running through the vine fields. They haven't seen me because the sunset's shining in their eyes. Bambies. Yeah, the guy's owns up most of Westminster and he's getting the rent every week from all the things. And that brings me to all these businesses, shops and cafes and things like that. They all say they're going to go out of business because they can't pay the rent. Well, for once, why can't they just say to all the people who own these places, which the people who own the buildings and the land are millionaires anyway, just say, look, at this point in time, you're not getting any rent. Hard luck, everyone's in the same boat. Why can't we just say that to these people and just say, you're not getting the rent, it's not being paid, it's all on hold. But that's somehow sacrosanct, that rent has to be paid. That's implied somehow. But it seems like they can make any rule up they want at the moment, so why can't they just do that rule and just say, look, rent, you don't have to pay it, it's cancelled for a while. And if you own something and you're not getting the money, well, hard luck. Property is theft. All these pirates who got in first and got the stake and renting it out to everyone else. So, I don't know what I am, I just think the system stinks somehow. And it's good that it's had a close down in my eyes. Just reading a book by Daniel Defoe, guy who wrote Robinson Crusoe. It's called a Journal of the Plague, 1622. I bought it a couple of years ago in a charity shop for 10 pence. And I've never got around to reading it, but I found it on my shelf the other day and thought, this looks interesting. And the similarities between then and now is unbelievable when you read it. The plague then was a lot worse than what we've got. Like you started running through the streets screaming your eyes out with your buboes under your armpits and in your groin. And it was a really, really bad death. But all the people staying off the streets and all the businesses closing down, all that's exactly the same. Very interesting. And it makes you see, even though we think we're highfalutin and spacemen in the future, we're just exactly the same as these medieval people that we think about of the Dark Ages. And we realise we haven't moved along one tiny little bit really, when push comes to the shove. Always exactly the same. And in the book they were saying about people selling amulets and wizards selling special charms and amulets against plague and plague water, drinks, special potions against the plague. And you're seeing it now in the internet, you know, with masks, different sorts of masks, and these tablets, if you take these tablets you will be all right. And it's exactly the same. It's just so similar, it's unbelievable. You know, we've got instead of the con men and snake oil salesmen, we've got them in the internet and in charge of the biggest country in the world, the most wealthy country in the world, America. That crazy mad guy Trump. Sounds like it's one of the worst things that's happened probably since the Second World War, this, and at the time they've got an absolute clown in charge. Be okay if he says, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't see it coming. Nobody did. But no, you just have to lie and try and turn it to his own account. It's so disgusting. And it wouldn't surprise me if Trump wasn't hanging up on a lamppost in 3 or 4 months, like Mussolini. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Or one of the old vets from a family who've died goes out hunting him with his AK-47 somewhere. He's shot on the golf course. We have to see. Anything goes in this world at the moment. Anything can happen. Just looking at the world really is, I've often thought it before when you go across the motorway, and in the morning there's millions and millions and millions and millions of great cars going along the motorways, millions and millions of glass boxes with people inside them going to work, burning some loads, billions and billions and millions of gallons of petrol, going to work every morning, coming home every evening, whacked out from working, saving up the money, going out to the airport, getting on an EasyJet or a Ryanair flight to Torremolinos or Greece or Cyprus or Morocco, and spending a week there, and all the sky full of chemtrails from these people having the jollies out on their holidays. You know, it's I'm sick of it. I think we need some tribulation. I think we need a good whipping, get us back in line. Anyway, I'm just a fool on the hill. I don't know anything. I just venting and looking at the nice indigo, magenta coloured clouds and thinking how complimentary they are. There's a single jet in the distance. I haven't seen one for ages, but there's one in the distance. Must be a special flight to Abu Dhabi or somewhere. Probably London to Abu Dhabi, coming from the right direction. If you can see it up there, that one. But either I'm flipping out or my eyes are going or my head's going, but I've been thinking the sky looks a really different colour recently, a very indigo colour. And since this whole corona thing started, it's been nothing but blue sky. No rain, every day, blue sky and sun. It's just so contrary to what's going on. You've got this deaths and horror on the news and on the internet, and outside the real world looks absolutely spanking new and beautiful than ever. Yeah, talking about Trump again, I've watched a few, what I can take. I can't stand to watch the guy, it drives me insane. But bits of the so-called news briefings that they have in the evening, 2 hours long or something, and the guy just standing there while his toadies licking his arse and him directing it like some super cheesy evening show. You know, that's all he's bothered about, the ratings. He's even using the coronavirus thing and tweeting and boasting how it's his briefing has got good ratings, and nobody can ask him a question. The guy flips out. It's like watching an absolute insane dictator in charge. That's the way I see it.